One mistake most freelancers make is to think that once the project is over, the relationship is over. And this is critical mistake because there's a lot of things that need to happen when the relationship is over. The first thing is you need to learn how to properly conclude the project. And what I mean by that is remember you just helped them launch or bring to life a project that's probably very important to them, okay? So when you finish it, it's usually a cause for celebration. And you need to remember whether it is a branding or a new website or a new project, they're probably celebrating the launch of it right now. And you want to be part of that, okay? The moment that you finish, they're loving you right now. You actually delivered something new to them. They're excited. It's going to help them achieve their business goal. So try to put yourself in the state of mind of celebration and help them celebrate. Maybe you can do some extra things for them, like a little post for social media to introduce their new website, or kind of a gift or something small that you can send to them to kind of celebrate the end of the project and finish off on a high note. And you want to remember, like from a psychological perspective, there is research, we're not going to go deep into that, but at the end of the day, what people remember from any experience is kind of an average of the best or worst moment and how it ended. Okay, so if you make sure that you end the project on a super positive note, this is going to be very influential on how they're going to remember later on working with you. So make sure that the end is an amazing experience for them. Now, tell them that you liked working with them and ask them to answer a few questions. So I would, when I'm concluding a project, I would send some kind of a feedback survey that's basically going to be basically 3 questions. What was the experience like working with me? What would you say was the best thing about working with me? And is there anything I can do better? Now, this is very important, and again, sending this survey is probably something I'll do along with the last payment. I'll say it was a pleasure working with you. It could be really helpful for me to let you know what was the experience like for you. If you can take a minute to answer these 3 quick questions. And basically, you're setting up here to learn from feedback. A lot of what we'll try to do, and we talked about this when we talked about business processes, is we're trying to learn from what we did on how we can improve our systems of doing things. So we want to know what was the best thing about working with us. That's going to help us sell to next customers, right? Because we're going to understand what our unique selling point is. And if there's something that we can improve, we're going to learn about it. So if the feedback is positive, this should definitely be translated into a testimonial. So when you read the feedback, you can ping them back and say, hey, I was really excited to hear your feedback. Would that be okay if I can use it as a testimonial? So you're not actually asking them for anything extra. You can just use what they already gave you as a testimonial, and most likely they're going to say yes at this point. And this is also a good point to mention. I was so glad to hear your feedback. Is there anyone else or a colleague or something that you think I should be talking to if I can help their business as well? So this is also the best time to get a referral to somebody else in your niche that you can help. Now, after that is done, I want you to set a calendar event, I forgot the T here, event to follow up with them. And this is really important. You want to make sure that in some kind of an interval, maybe it's in 6 months or in 12 months, you're reaching them back to them. And you want to ask them, how's your business going? How's the website or the brand? How's the project that I did for you? Is it working for you? And let's grab coffee. I want to hear what's up. And remember, this is at this point, you've built a relationship, you've worked with them, you spent a lot of time communicating with them. Hopefully you care about them as people and you want to hear about what's up in their life, how's their life going, how's their business going. And this it brings them back into the same pool of people that we talked about when we talked about before the project, right? Because they're either a prospect for your next project to work with you again, or to refer other people to you because they had a great experience working with you, so that you want to stay top of mind for them. And the way to do this is by following up. By the way, sometimes you won't even go to lunch or coffee with them, but just the fact that you wrote them this email offering to get them on coffee, they will say, "Ah, man, Ran, he was such a great guy," and then that will keep them top of mind, even if you don't end up going to lunch with them, which I do, by the way, because I love going to lunch with clients. So this is something that should be kind of also in your system of staying in touch with people. Now, I'm going to finish this off with a quote that I heard from my business coach, but I think is really, really influential on how I think about business in general. You want to make sure that you're playing long term games with long term people. And we said at the beginning of this week, you know, freelance is a relationship type game. And this is a very, very long term game, right? I've been playing it for almost 20 years now. And the fruits of this labor are compounding. So the work that you're doing now is going to be, and the relationship that you create right now, and the goodwill that you create right now is going to be so meaningful in the years down the line. Okay, people are going to move jobs, they're going to grow, their business is going to grow, they're going to be more successful, smarter, they're going to know more people. So make sure that you have the long-term play in mind when you're working with people. You want to work with good people, and you want to think about the long term when you're having a relationship with them.